Hey guys, welcome back. This week we are starting off in the West MacDonald Ranges. We have a lot to fit in this week. We have 3 main destinations we're going to be showing you guys, which are
West MacDonald Ranges, Kings Canyon and Uluru.
So we've got a jam-packed episode for you guys. Here we go.
My name's Sam Ball.
I'm Brooklyn Ball. This is Rhonan Ball.
And together we are Australia by the Balls. Here we are, we made it.
We made it. Stayed on the rocks, which was Wiki Camp's #1 advice. But it is a little bit sandy in patches, so we're going to put the tyres down just so we can get the van in position without revving the car up too much.
We'll definitely have to let them down to get back out that way anyway, so we might as well do it now. Have a go at this spot though. So we're here for the next 4 nights. We're going to be exploring the McDonald's Ranges. Maybe some 4-wheel driving, maybe not, who knows. Definitely some sunsets, definitely some sunrises and 100% some swimming.
Stop today at West MacDonald Gorge is Uluru Creek Big Hole. We're the only ones here at the moment. It's only about 9:30 in the morning. It is pretty cold, so we're not going for a swim because that water is freezing, and it's actually on a sign saying caution, water is freezing cold. So it does suggest that you swim with a pool noodle or something like that if you're not a confident swimmer. It is absolutely beautiful here. There is plenty of space to have a picnic. There's a lot of sandy area to put out a picnic rug and for the kids to have a little run around. Otherwise, up at the car park there is gas barbecues and park seats so that you can have a full day here. It is a great spot. Good start to the day. And it also is only about a 200-300 metre walk from the car park, so not far at all. If you are travelling with young kids, you don't have to walk very far. So spot number 1 done and dusted. On to spot number 2.
So the Serpentine and walking trail is relatively easy. There's a fork just before the end of it. You can either go left to the gorge or right to the lookout. So we went left first. Brings you to this beautiful gorge here. There's no swimming in this one, but there's a little beached area and it's beautiful to just sit back and just look at and just soak it all in. we've just parked ourselves up on a rock at the top of the lookout. The hike to the lookout is a lot harder than the hike to the gorge. So if you're traveling with small children, be aware of that.
There's a lot of loose rock as well, and it can get pretty narrow.
Narrow, and to one side you've got the cliff going up, and then to the other side it's just dropping straight off. But in saying that, it is definitely doable if you take it slow. We took it nice and slow. Brooklyn had him in the baby carrier and we were fine. If you have small toddlers, I'd maybe give this one a miss, because there's no edging or anything to stop anyone from running off the edge. So yeah, I'd probably give it a miss. The view down at the gorge is just as spectacular as the view up here. Up here you get a full, I'd say like 180 view of the ranges, and then you also get a view straight down the middle of the gorge. So if you can make it up here, it is worth the hike.
Maybe just take turns. Well, one parent sits at the gorge, the other parent comes up.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you've got any sort of carrier or anything, it is worth the trek up, even though I was so puffed.
I think from the bottom to the top it was 15 minutes, so a solid 15-minute hike pretty much straight up. But Rhonan's just had a bottle, so we're going to get him back in the carrier and then start the journey down. Watching Mum cook up a storm. What's for lunch?
We're having steak, egg and salad wraps.
Yum!
So good. It's also going to be Ronan's first time trying steak today.
Oh. You excited, mate? Little bit. Stop number 3, Ormiston Gorge. So this one has a whole heap of walking trails. Not all of them are going to be suitable to take a kid. Some of them are quite long. Some of them actually require overnight camping, which obviously we're not going to do. So we've narrowed it down to 3, and we're going to have a little walk and see what the tracks are like before we do them. So the first one is a 5-minute walk to the swimming hole. That's 100%, we're going to do that. The second one's called Red Gum, and that's a 20-minute one-way hike. I think it goes up a little hill. And then the third one is the Red Gum Loop, and it loops around back through the gorge and the waterhole. So we're going to go have a look, see what it's like. The Red Gum Loop's about 1.5 hours.
So we have decided to do the Ghost Gum Lookout and the waterhole. The loop required us to walk through the actual water and do some rock hopping, and I just don't feel comfortable doing that with Roni. So we're gonna do the lookout and the walk.
Let's go. Ghost Gum Lookout. The walk up was pretty easy. Definitely compared to Serpentine Lookout, it was a lot easier. I'd say this one would be suitable if you wanted to bring your kids.
Yeah, a lot of steps rather than rocks that you have to climb up. This is a lot of steps.
Yeah, like actually like formed steps.
Yeah.
Lookout is amazing. You just cannot capture the sheer beauty of this place on a camera.
Yeah.
People-wise, I'd say this one is the most popular walk we've done today. There are people everywhere. We're back at camp. We've got an issue. We've got a power issue, and we've also got a fuel issue. You can see it's been cloudy all day, so currently our battery bank is sitting on 48%.
3 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually by this time it is at 100%.
Yeah, normally it goes up during the day. When we left, it was at 50% and it's gone down 2% throughout the day. Not good. So, brings us to problem number 2. We have a fuel issue. We didn't realise, but when we came out into the West MacDonald National Park, none of the fuel stations out here actually have any fuel at the moment.
So Glen Helen, the one that's across from us, has no fuel. So the closest fuel is either Alice or the Kings Canyon Resort. Or there's another one kind of around 100 k's away.
But we've heard it doesn't have fuel either. We're going to go exploring tomorrow and down that way, so if they have fuel, happy days. But if they don't, we're going to have to punch it back into Alice, I think. So, anyway, problem number 2 is
we have to run the car for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, so that we can get some power in the van, which we would be able to live off, you know, minimal power through till tomorrow, which is hopefully sunny, just to keep the fridge going. But because Rhonan drinks bottles, they need to be sterilised, and we need to basically live in it.
Yeah, the bottle warmer or heater sterilizer, that's the big killer for us. That absolutely smashes through our battery.
And I mean, if we do it now off 48%, we're getting very close to critical low, and the van I think just switches off at around
20%.
20%.
So you can't go under 20%. Very frustrating. So anyway, we're going to run the car for the next probably hour, get some juice back into the van, and then we'll deal with the fuel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good morning, welcome to day 2 in the West MacDonald Ranges. Today we've swapped drivers and Brooklyn has taken us on an adventure into Roma Gorge.
It was a pretty good drive. It was about 10 k's altogether, I think. It definitely felt a bit longer.
Yeah, it's a little 4-wheel drive track just off the main road.
Make sure you have a high clearance 4-wheel drive because there are a few pretty rocky parts and the scrub is pretty high and you have to go over it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely do not attempt this in a 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You will get stuck.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty easy walk. It says it's 650 meters, so shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna get Rhonan out of the car, chuck him in the carrier, and let's go.
Sounds good.
You're too quick for me. I'm trying to get the shots and you're walking off. God, she's just so impatient sometimes. So after we went to the gorge this morning, we decided to duck round to the nearest town and grab some fuel, which, was it Hamburg?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it's called Hamburg. Anyway, so it was about an hour drive from where we were. We got out there and there was no fuel there either. So basically then we were too far gone. We had to drive 130 kilometers to Alice. If we went back the way that we came, we wouldn't have had enough fuel to make it back. So we bit the bullet, did the drive to Alice. Turned out to be a good thing because we were able to go to Woolies, stock up on some more groceries and whatnot. But yeah, unexpected long day. I think we've almost done 300 kilometers of driving. We got 130 kilometers to get back to our camp. And it's 3:30 in the afternoon, so
I'm wrecked and I'm not even driving.
It's been a big day.
Our last stop for West MacDonald Ranges is Red Bank Gorge. Now the walk is about 1.2 kilometers. I'm pretty sure that's 1.2 in, not return. It was a little bit technical.
It's a very technical walk, the last couple of 100 meters.
Yeah, you have to go over a lot of rocks. Now, children in carriers, just take it slow. Toddlers, I probably wouldn't bring down here unless you have amazing patience. Otherwise, your younger children should be able to scale the rocks okay. It's really dependent on how you feel about it. I'd still come down here and do the best you can because the end result is beautiful. Like, it is something else. I actually feel like I'm at Carragini. They're the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah,
it's really beautiful. This is probably my favourite for the whole of West MacDonald that we have seen. It is really worth it. Once we got down here, you just sit really quietly and 2 little rock wallabies came out, which was really cool. I think they're having a little bit of a hey going.
Chasing each other around.
But it is absolutely sensational. Definitely 100%. So happy to be here.
Yeah. Easy. So that wraps up 3 days at the West MacDonald Ranges. We took a bit of time and we explored all around the area. We had a look at all the different campsites, all the different campgrounds, and we still reckon this one is the best. The 2 mile Finke River camp, you can pick pretty much wherever you want, plenty of room. You can get your big rigs up here if you want to, or if you just want to camp in a tent, you can do that as well. On to the next stop, Kings Canyon.
We did not realise how much footage we actually got from West MacDonald. So to keep the video a little bit on the shorter side, we're going to stop it here and we'll do Kings Canyon and Uluru next Friday. Make sure you guys like, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you next week for Kings Canyon and Uluru. You!